So I welcome all the friends from the media fraternity to this press conference, and I also welcome all the colleagues present here. This briefing will be in response to the reaction of the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Preston Tinsong, regarding our demand to disclose the name of those who have become positive in COVID-19. Mr. Preston Tinsong is such a senior politician. At present, he is holding the post of Deputy Chief Minister. I didn't expect him to be behaving like this, because the law is very clear. The Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 has empowered the government so much to regulate as per the necessity. Well, when this coronavirus epidemic broke out, the WHO has declared it as pandemic, and subsequently the government of India on the 14th of March 2020 has declared it as notified disaster. So let me ask Mr. Tinsong, under which provision of law they are curtailing the rights of the citizen? Under which provision of the law they are restricting the movements of the citizens, including the interstate movements? That is nothing but by invoking the provision of the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 only. Because under the provision of this act, the authority is immune from any judicial scrutiny. That is why we should always know that the life and the health should be our priority. Therefore, I reiterate again that disclosing the names of those people who are having COVID positive will rather help us in fighting this dreaded virus. Because as I have been repeatedly telling, that this fight against the coronavirus is not only the fight of the government alone. Every individual across the globe are responsible in fighting against this virus. So when we are fighting against this virus, and if we don't know where our enemy is, then how it will be just possible for us to fight against the enemy, which is called the virus? That is why it is very much required for all of us to know the presence of the virus so that we can take care of ourselves. Talking about the stigma, when we maintain the transparency as far as the COVID positive patients are there, by disclosing the names and the presence of the virus, slowly that stigmatization will also disappear. Today somebody is having positive case, then I will have to eventually think that today he is having, tomorrow my family also may have the same problem. So slowly it will die down. So there is no question of medical ethics, because all this ordinary provision of the law which directly or indirectly affects the containment of the epidemic disease is superseded by the provision of this very act, the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. He was also claiming that the leader of the opposition, even Dr. Mukul Sangma, didn't raise this issue. But let me tell Mr. Tinsong that even our leader of the opposition, Dr. Mukul Sangma, has raised this issue in several occasions. Even on the floor of the House, inside the assembly also, I heard him talking about this issue. He was talking about transparency which has to be maintained. What does it mean? It means this particular thing. So, without going in depth into the provision of the prevailing act, if a person who is occupying the position of Deputy Chief Minister behaves like this, I will just tell that it's the height of his arrogancy, his obstinacy, and that he doesn't bother to fulfill his responsibility as the responsible leader and the Deputy Chief Minister of the government. Thank you. If there is any question, you can.
That this project is disclosed by a party.
Yeah. See, in the last meeting of the consultative meeting called by the Honorable Speaker of the Assembly, that was a third meeting where I also attended. We requested the government to disclose the names of those who are having positive cases, because at the end of the day, it will rather help all of us only, because when we are fighting against this virus, and if we don't know the presence of the virus, which is our enemy, how it will be possible for us to save ourselves, to deal with the virus or to fight against the virus? It will rather help only. It will rather help all of us. Therefore, the government should try to know in depth and should not take lightly with this pandemic. It is very, very dangerous. It is leaving everything aside. The government should prepare and collectively involving every individual of the state jointly fight against this dreaded disease.
So, what was the actual statement given by Kim Song?
Well, I cannot just repeat his statement. If you just recall his statement, it was circulated well, so you can understand. So again, in today's notification issued by the East Khasis District Administration, I have the document. They have revealed the name of those who are having primary contacts with the patients who are having positive case. They have given the names of the locality, the household, and the names of those individuals. So it is rather contradicting with the statement of Mr. Preston Tinsong, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. So it is becoming a joke rather. I will rather term it as a joke before the people.